All right, here's your video on making a circle graph. We're going to do it slightly different than the book, so you're going to want to really make sure that you write some good notes down, especially the directions step by step, because it's different than what you'll find in the book. I'm not going to make 1 meter strips of paper. That's what we did in 6th grade, so this is going to move us into a different area. But data that represents parts of a whole could be displayed using a circle graph, or sometimes called a pie chart. You're going to use the data that you've collected, and you're going to make a circle graph in order to summarize your results. Now, it doesn't matter whether you use it to do the entire group of data, or if you want to summarize 7th grade, 6th grade, 8th grade, that's up to you. Here we see a circle graph about the stuff that's in the sewer in New York City. Lots of different colors. You notice that everything's labeled. Here's the label of the entire graph. Each category is labeled. The steps to make a circle graph can be found on the next slide. I'm going to move to that slide. I would suggest you pause it and write it down. Okay. Place the data you will use to make your circle graph into a table. Make sure you have the total. So total your entire 7th grade, total your 6th grade. Maybe you're just making a graph on boys, maybe you're making one on girls. That's up to you. Number 2, divide each value by the total and multiply by 100, so that you're going to get a decimal. You multiply by 100, and what you're doing is you're finding the percent of that category compared to the whole. So we do that for each category. Number 3, now we need to find out how much of the circle is taken up by that information. So we take the percent, but we change it into a decimal, and we multiply by how many degrees are in a circle, 360. So just as a reminder, you need your protractor. Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on if you're in 7M. Okay, we're going to do this on Wednesday in 7M, so you need a protractor. For all the others, you need it by Tuesday, tomorrow. Okay, so we take the percent in the decimal and we multiply it by all of the degrees in a circle, 360. We're going to draw our circle. I'm going to actually have one drawn for you. I'm going to try and mark the center for you. We're going to draw the radius. Okay, so I'm going to start with the circle with a center. I'm going to draw the radius. I'm going to lay my protractor right here and measure off the first angle. Okay, and then I'm going to do that for each other angle that goes along with it. Okay, I'm going to try and do my best to color them different colors and all of that good stuff. Okay, make it look pretty. All right. Continue this process until you have drawn each category in its degree measure. And then we're going to label our graph. We're going to put a title. We're going to label each what the colors mean. We're going to put numbers on it, all that sort of stuff. All right, so I've worked one out for you. All right, this is stuff that people like to buy at a movie theater. Sorry, I forgot a 0. Okay, 15, 5, 19, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so for popcorn, I'm going to take 15 divided by 80, I get that into a decimal, I multiply it by 100, that gives me the percent. So this is step number 1 that I have to go through. I take that percent, I change it back into a decimal, I multiply by 360, and here is the degree measure for that portion of the circle. Okay. So you can see each one of these worked out. Now, there is a concern. Right here, if we add all of these together, we get 100.3%. Okay, that means we're over 100%. When we add these degree measures together, we get 363%. Okay, so our rounding is going to cause us a problem every now and then. Okay, we don't want to worry about degree measures that are decimals because our protractors aren't going to be huge to be able to figure that out. So don't worry too much about this. Just do the best you can. Maybe on the larger numbers, don't round up. Okay, Okay, so maybe pick the 3 largest numbers. So that would be the popcorn, the soda, and the hot dog. And instead of rounding up, I would just cut it off. So I'm going to do that again real quick. 0.188 times 360. I get 67.68. So instead, I'm going to write 67. Okay, for this one, I'm going to write 85. And then for this one, oh, it's actually 54. So I don't do that one. Now I move down to this one. And I would write 49. So that way, I'm back to my 360. So I'm not necessarily going to use this one, that number, or that number. Now I'm going to use those ones, okay? All right, so I take all of that data, I take these things on the right-hand side, and I'm going to start my circle. I'm going to put a line from the center, the radius. I'm going to measure off my first one, 67 degrees, okay? Now, I already have it done. So I'm just going to show it to you. Here's my data. Here are my colors. This is what each one represents. And I put the percentage on the graph. I have it labeled, what people buy at the movies. This is a great circle graph. Okay. Now, I've given you a website that you can go to and practice. It's going to do the work for you. You will not be able to do this for the project part of this. Basically what you're going to do tomorrow in class is you're each going to create a circle graph based on your data. Okay? It can be different. Actually, each person is going to create a different circle graph because I want you to show the data however you want to, but I don't want you to all do it the same. Okay? So remember, we start with the dot right in the middle. Let me change it. We start with the dot right in the middle and with a radius. And then from there we start measuring around until we get to our complete. So I'm always using the last line as the next starting place. The last line is the next starting place. Last line. So I'm just going to keep twisting my paper. Okay. I hope that's good. You can find lots of websites on circle graphs, but you're going to do this together in class on Tuesday or on Wednesday. So remember, you've already done 2 bar graphs, 2 double bar graphs, and 2 double line graphs. Now you're adding circle graphs to your project group. Okay. Remember to keep your data, collect it, make it look nice, because you're going to put all of these things together. So hopefully your double bar graphs and double line graphs were put onto paper that you don't mind ripping out or cutting. I don't care if it's cutting. Whatever, try and make them nice, but you're working through this. Keep working with your group. Ask questions if you have it. Make sure you bring your notes in to class, and I'm going to look at them and give you a grade for it. All right, I'm out. Peace.